So why might we cling to negative feeling spaces? It's got a lot to do with ego. Ego, it's back, it's terrible, it's so hard for us. So ego works itself in one of two ways. One, it can work itself in I'm the best in the room, I'm the awesomest, I'm the strongest, I'm the coolest. And then it does this subtle trick, which is presenting in the exact same phenomenon. It's the other side of the swing. It's the other side of the pendulum, which is I have it the hardest. I've been hurt the most. You don't understand me. I'm more misunderstood than anybody in this room. Because our ego has this desire to be special, and that desire to be special or to be different or to be unique in a way can make us actually abide in negative and hurting feeling spaces so that we feel that we're special or we've had it the worst. And that's how ego likes to either be at the bottom of a rubric or the top of the rubric to feel special. Another reason why we do that is because we're flagging for help. When we were little, we would cry, we would yell, we would scream, and we would exaggerate our hurtness so that we could get help. And we get older and we can be like, wah, help, wah, everything's the worst. And we can kind of double down on that, and that is just a desire to love ourselves and for people to know that we're hurt and to come and help us. So in some ways, abiding in a negative feeling space can be a flag for, hey, will you help me? There's also this other subtle thing that can happen where, like, you know when you get a bug bite? And some people do this, I don't know if you've ever seen anyone do this, but you can run hot water on your bug bite, and by running hot water on it, you can no longer feel the bug bite. Or you push in with your fingers to make it hurt more. And so you have control over that hurt, the second hurt, which is actually more than the first. You have a level of control over the pain. So sometimes when we get hurt, to distract ourselves from that hurt, we intentionally hurt ourselves more in a way that we have control over. So then you can see we're feeling in a hurt feeling space, but if we go out and we like drink and we make it worse, it's us who's done it to ourselves, and it sort of overrides that initial feeling space of, ugh, yuck, I didn't like this, I feel numb, I feel upset, and go out and hurt yourself more. Isn't this interesting? So there are a lot of ways that we hurt ourselves more and that we ruminate and stay in negative feeling spaces. These are the people who cling to the negative feeling spaces. And all we want to do is have that insight of like, wait, this is why I'm doing this? That makes no sense. I don't want to do it anymore. Because as soon as you bring some consciousness to, I'm flagging for friends by exaggerating this negative feeling space, you can then just ask friends for help and not have to hurt yourself more. Or, I don't have the confidence that I can deal with this hurt feeling space which has been put on me by the external world, so I'm going to distract myself with self-sabotaging behavior that's louder than the first hurt from the external world, just so that I can get distracted from not feeling that hurt. So that's another way. So you're starting to see how we can like sort of double and triple down on negative feeling spaces. Or, I've been hurt more than anybody else in the world, and you should nourish and nurture me because I've had it the worst as the person in the room. I've had it the worst. It's a very self-oriented feeling space. I'm sure you guys have been this person at one point in a time in your life, and I'm sure you've known this person at one point in time in your life. Someone who keeps talking about the way that they've been hurt, and they don't seem to be able to recognize sometimes that there's someone in the room who's been hurt more than them. But because they're in such a self-referencing, egocentric mindset, they just only see their own hurt, and they try to make it more than other people's hurts in an egocentric way. We've all done this, we all do this. So this is how and why we may need to keep that back door open, and we may need to remind ourselves to do it. And then at the most basic level, all we need to say is, hey, that hurts. That does not feel good. I do not want to stay in feeling spaces that do not feel good. When you're trying to distinguish between nourishing and non-nourishing feeling spaces, a real key insight is that the non-nourishing feeling spaces, they just don't feel good. They feel like, pain, hurt, anger. If you exaggerate the way that feeling space looks, it looks like it hurts Anger, it looks like it hurts, right? Sadness, it literally looks like it hurts. And hate, greed, those types of feeling spaces, they look like they hurt. A hateful face is the face of somebody who's bracing and hurting when you think about it. So that's going to help you in identifying which feeling spaces you want to indulge and which feeling spaces you don't want to indulge. So I hope that's helpful for those of you who are having trouble understanding why people might cling to feeling spaces and overindulge in them and firm up senses of identity, a victim identity, or a I've been hurt worse than anybody else identity, or maybe I'm just a piece of garbage identity. I'm just no good. That's all there is to it. I've been told that since I was a little kid. We're going to dive more into identity, but at first we just want to work with the thoughts and the feelings that keep coming back again and again and again and again. So that's called rumination. Another way that a feeling space stays for a long time is when we ruminate on it. And this is part of that incredible study that I was talking about in the prior video, which says that most feelings last 45 seconds, but some feelings stay for much longer. And remember, the goal that we're trying to have here is to let our feelings arise and let our feelings dissipate, and have the non-nourishing ones arise, be loved, and dissipate on their own without encouraging them to stay for longer than is needed. So you're going to employ your second arrow teachings of not letting your thoughts come up and stick and stay and repeat again and again and again and again. And then you're going to employ that feeling space of I'm going to let these feelings arise, I'm going to embrace them, but I'm also going to let them dissipate, especially the non-nourishing ones. I hope that's helpful and helps you understand why some people might cling to non-nourishing feelings and why we really need to focus on having that back door open as well as the front door. A little side note, there's something called the Zen pool of forgiveness. It is the space right between your shoulder blades. And sometimes we can't let go of feelings until we forgive ourselves or we forgive someone else. So in future, there will be a Ho'oponopono teaching, which is going to work with some great boundaries and some incredible forgiveness practices. Because a lot of times those feelings are staying in us because we need to process through something, and there might be a little forgiveness that we need to work on for ourselves or for others before those feelings stop arising. That is the purification of karma. Don't get hung up on the word purification. You can use the word burning. That is the burning of pain. So pain arises in you and dissipates and burns off. If you don't then do something that then creates the pattern of having that come back to you or come back to another person. So these are actually karma teachings. Don't tell anybody. Yeah, these are deep and profound karma teachings on how to affect your most subtle mind, the mind that is in your heart mind, and let these feelings arise and dissipate without creating more negative karma for yourself and other people. More on that later. Okay, bye.